All right, so sometimes I got a big old mouth, and sometimes she's got a big old mouth. And sometimes when either of us have a big old mouth, the other person is like,
Oh, what did they just say?
please don't do that, no. And if we correct our partner in public in the moment, it almost never goes well. It doesn't feel good for them. It doesn't feel good for everyone else around. Everyone's uncomfortable, and it kind of goes downhill from there. So what can you do is what we do is that we allow it to happen. We allow the person to have their fullest expression in the moment, and then we take notes in our phone. And we don't come back and we don't say, when you were a loudmouth. No, we say, hey babe, I don't know if you know this or not, but there is something that happens when we're in public and you do this particular thing. And by the way, this is usually her saying this to me. I've just had it so much. I'm an expert now at explaining it to other people. And I've been an expert in telling her that, hey, that actually doesn't work for me when you're like aggressive at my bad behavior. But if you're like, hey, I know that you're really committed to being an amazing person and a leader, and like having people really care about who you are and respect you. Yes, I'm listening. Go on. Versus, when you do that thing, it sucks. So when she says it that way, then I'm like, I'm listening. Yeah, because it doesn't land, and then I can't hear it. But when she says, I know you want to be the best person you can be, and I'm here to help you, and I notice that this thing happens, I'm like, okay, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I can see where that absolutely affects you. I can see where that may not be good for somebody else. It might be, but it may not be. So there's a gray area, and I would like to avoid gray areas. I like it to be very clear. Okay, so how can I adjust my approach to this? I don't want to dim my light or dim my fullest expression, but how can I adjust my approach and still have a better result, have a confirmed result of goodness versus like a maybe a miss or maybe that. Anything you'd add to that?
Well, I think that the key here is to make an agreement with you and your significant other about how you want to be in the public facing arena. And when any one of you slips up or does something that maybe doesn't reflect so well on you personally or the relationship or the situation or whatever it is, that you would have a way to not cut each other down, because we see this all the time in the world. We're like, yeah, my husband, blah, 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 right? Like, we're constantly cutting down and making comments about things versus actually going, okay, that was said, and be with my discomfort and check in. Is this something that really is because I'm uncomfortable? And sometimes it lands really well for people. Or is this something that actually could use a little bit of refinement? And this goes both ways. And so having an agreement with your partner that how, one, you handle things publicly, and then how you would handle things privately. So like he just shared, what would be a better way for me to address that is not by saying, when you did this, all the things he just shared. And so practicing that, having those agreements, and then noticing in the moment, is this about me, or is this about a betterment or a refinement that's going to serve my beloved or our partnership or how we are in the world or how people perceive us or how we're actually landing with other people. And I think that is a worthwhile exploration and conversation and set of agreements to have.
Yeah, and so what she means by agreements, if that wasn't clear, like ahead of time, we both have an agreement that
we'll always speak kindly
about each
and
other,
up each other in public, and not tear each other down in any sort of public setting.
So that's our agreement. That's actually our vow.
Even
our vow.
around our families, and even it's harder when it's that. But
because we've both actually, just so you know, like we've brought some of our grievances with each other to our family. And the problem with that, unfortunately, is now the family, because they only see us every once in a while, they're not in our lives every day.
They pick that up.
They're holding that vision of her or me. And so then the next time we go, they're like, well, you. I'm like, what? Where'd that come from? Oh, because she's now. So be mindful of where you're sharing things. But the agreement is, we're going to treat each other well. We're going to share positively about each other in public. And we also have another agreement that we want to know how we're doing. We want some feedback. And so it's not unsolicited feedback from Sierra. It's welcomed. Yeah. But it's welcomed in a specific way for me, because I can't hear it in every way. If it's coming with any energy, I'm not hearing it. But if it's coming with, hey, I noticed, okay, cool, I'm hearing it. So find out what your thing is, find out what your agreement is, and then you'll be able to be more self-expressed, more sovereignly, fully expressed as an individual, and your partnership will thrive because you're not dimming your light with one another, and you have an agreement to support each other and how you appear to the world. And again, this isn't like smoke and mirror stuff. It's like you want to be the best that you can be, and so really showing it out to the world. So that's our suggestion on how to be more expressed and have agreements with each other on how to connect and have that goodness.
And if you're looking for more tips like this, or you want to practice this within a community of other couples, then make sure you subscribe, or you like, or you follow us, and you can check out more at edenworld.org/wisdom jam or edenworld.org/guest, and come join us.